Welcome back, Spartans. Today we are going to see the fourth video in a series of starting with the Photoshop layout and then the slicing of the images, which was video 3. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in those sliced images into Dreamweaver. So the first thing I want to do, though, is is to look inside that folder. And as you see, there is a new folder called Images. If I double click that, I will see all those images that I sliced from Photoshop. And now you might have one that says GIF, and that's fine also. As you know, those will be ready, web-ready images. I am using JPEGs, and just to be clear on what I have here, I have 5 rollover images, and I've got 5 regular buttons. I have a left column, a logo, a Photoshop button, there's that 5th one, and there's a footer JPEG, and then finally the right column. So everything is there. This amounts to 14 objects. You might have an extra, couple extra images. If you know what those extra images are, you may go ahead and delete those. If you're not sure, then just go ahead and leave them alone. It won't matter if you have extra images. Okay? Okay, so what I would like to do is go back here and show you the index that it created. And I can do that by just bringing that up here. So there you see the exact image that we designed in Photoshop. Now none of this is interactive, of course, because it's one single HTML file without any linking images or effects. But if you view the source, you will notice that this layout, and let's see if we can get that. Okay, that layout is a table-based layout. Now, you should know a few things about table-based layouts since we've made one in our notepad, but we are not going to use this. But I did want to point that out, that Photoshop will create that for you automatically. So that's kind of a neat feature. I'm going to close that up. And I'm also going to close this as well. Now, inside this folder, I'm going to rename this table index, and that's just so we can save another file called index. Since we're not going to use that, that's why I'm doing that. But it's good to have it as a backup. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and I'm going to come into Dreamweaver this time, and what we first need to do is define a site. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Dreamweaver site. And just like before, let's go ahead and call this PS layout, and then you're going to go ahead and just call it PS layout. I'm just going to call it DeConti just for this tutorial purposes, and then I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to say no to the server technology. I'm going to double click this and make sure I'm in the right place, and there, I'm in the DeConti PS layout folder. Okay, I'm going to select that, hit next, and then for this one, what folder on your server do you want to store the files in? I'll double click that, just make sure it says the same thing, and then click next, and it looks like everything's in place. Done. And then I'm going to go check on the left side here in the index, and sure enough, I'm in the right place. I've got everything to the right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do create new HTML, and I think the first thing we should do is fill out the title. And we got a little lag on this, so hope for the best. Okay, I'll just call this DeConti's website. Okay, you can put your own name. You can my website. You might have a particular name to your website that reflects your logo. That's purely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and file, save as, and we're going to call this, of course, index. And again, save it into the correct folder. Okay, and there's the index file. I'm going to do File, New again. This time I'm going to choose CS, Create, and I'm going to call save this as, I'll call it style.css. Okay, and again, save it in the proper folder, and there it is. Now I want to link these two pages. Since we have an external style sheet, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our cursor in between those head tags. So it's going to go right after this title. So I'm just going to drag that style file right over, and bam, you see that link that points to our style sheet, the style CSS. Okay? Alright, I'm going to go File, Save As. I'm going to go ahead and preview in Firefox, and we're going to see what we got here. Decani website, and there's my vector easel. Now I do want to point out something for vector easel. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and help you understand what we're going to do next. This brown area is known as the background color of the body. This area inside is called the wrapper, or something to that effect. Okay, so all of this right here is going to contain our basically the layout that we created in Photoshop. Okay, all right, so here's how we do that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to give the body some color. So we're going to get our cursor within those tags. I'm going to refresh my CSS folder right now, and I'm going to highlight CSS, and I'm going to hit the new CSS rule. You see the little plus sign right there, and the selector is going to be a tag. The selector type is a tag, and it's going to be called body. Okay, again, make sure tag is selected, body tag, and it should automatically say style.css. I'm going to click OK, and we'll get a rule definition dialog box, and we're going to go to background and choose some kind of a background color. It doesn't matter what that color is. So right now just choose a neutral gray, because anything looks good on neutral gray. I will apply it, and I'll click OK, and then I'll save all. And what did I do? I think I closed everything. Let me pause and see if I can get this back. Alright, it looks like I just hit the wrong button, but I'm back. Okay, so here's my design view for the index, and so let's continue. So what we're going to do, make sure your cursor is sitting there flashing away. Okay, code view, you can see it's in the right inside the body tags, and which makes sense, and that's why we've got this cursor here. We're going to go to Insert, and this time we're going to go to Layout, Objects, and we're going to start our first div tag, and we're going to call this wrapper. And again, this has to do with the fact that we want everything contained within this the div tag called wrapper. So we need to apply a new CSS style, and the ID type is denoted by this hashtag. So you're going to see this within the CSS page, and it's called wrapper. And we're going to click OK, and we're going to go to our box, and we're going to give it the same width and height as our Photoshop page. So it's a width of 800 pixels and a height of 600 pixels. Now, so we can see the difference between the background and this wrapper that we're making. Let's go ahead and give it some kind of a color. And you can choose any color. It doesn't matter what that color is. Another thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and center it. So come over here to the margin area and uncheck it and choose auto right and auto left. Make sure, again, this is unchecked. Otherwise, all 4 windows or fields will be chosen as auto, but we don't want that. So right auto, left auto. Okay? And then go ahead and apply it and click OK. And then click OK one more time. And you can see, if we save all, that we will get the same color as we chose, as well as a centered wrapper within that body. Okay? Now, you're going to get placeholder text, but we don't need this placeholder text. So I'm going to come in here and I'll just hit delete. Okay? Alright, the first thing we need within our wrapper is our header. Okay, remember the header from Photoshop. contains both our logo and the navigation buttons. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to insert a div. So it's going to be a layout object. So I'm going to come down to layout object, div tag, and we're going to call this header. Okay? We need a new CSS style for that. And again, there's the hashtag, and we're going to click OK for that. We're going to go ahead to the box category and choose, again, the same width, because remember, it spans from left to right, the entire width of the layout. The height this time will be 100. You might recall that number when we set up our guidelines in Photoshop. I'm going to click Apply. We could choose a background color just for the heck of it, but we will replace this eventually with a couple divs called logo and nav bar. So go ahead and apply that and click OK. And OK one more time. There it is. And I'm going to delete that content. I'm going to save all. And then I'm going to go back here and refresh. Bingo. Looks good. Looking just like the layout dimensions from Photoshop. Okay, you notice my cursor is flashing in the code. It's in the right place. It's right between the header div and the closing div. But I'm going to hit return, just sort of give this some space. And I'm going to put my cursor right back here. Again, that's in the code view. But I'm going to go here now and insert another layout object called div tag. And it's going to go here in the ID, and it's going to be called logo. And we're going to click new CSS style, click OK. Now the difference here though is we're going to go to background. Actually, let's go to box and give it its dimension. You might remember the logo was 300 width and 100 height. Okay. We're also going to choose float left. We want to make sure it all goes to the left side. We're going to go to background and we're going to choose background image. We're going to browse, and this time we're going to go right into that image folder and locate that logo that we created. Okay, it's right there. You can even see the dimensions, 300 by 100. Click OK. Click Apply. Don't click Apply yet. Let's go ahead and do No Repeat. Okay, because we want it just that one single background. Click Apply. Click OK. And OK one more time. We will save all. Let's go to our design, and bingo, there it is. Now that we do need to remove that text holder, and looks good. Save all. All right, let's go back into the code of the HTML document, and we're going to go ahead and notice where our cursor is. We're going to hit return. We want our new ID div tag right below that logo. Notice where it is in my code. Okay, we're going to go to Insert Image Object. Sorry, let's do a layout object, and we'll call it nav bar. ID nav and capital BAR. It's common to do a uppercase letter in a compound sort of situation, compound naming convention. New CSS style. Click OK. And this time the box will be 500 and the height is 100. That's just that remaining area in that header. We're going to float that left and we're going to apply, and we're going to click OK and OK, and I'll see the design. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and remove the title there, that text holder, and notice the cursor. It's sitting right inside there. We can look at the code and make sure it's in between those two div tags. Sure enough, they are. This time I'm going to insert an object, and it's going to be a rollover object. I'm going to do this one time, and I'll call this home. I will browse for it, and there's my home button. Okay, right inside that image folder. I'm going to browse for the other one. This is roll home. That's that second one. So you've got the regular original and the second rollover. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to save it, and we're going to go ahead and go into my Photoshop page, and there you go. There's the rollover effect. I'm going to pause quickly because we don't have a lot of time left, and I will add all those other buttons. I'll be right back. Okay, Spartans, so as you see, I've got all the other buttons in here. They all have that nice rollover effect. Be sure you pause and play the video, rewind if you need to, but we're done with this first part, but this is part 4, and please come back for the others. Thank you.